Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this YouTube Tuesday with me, Jason, here at Barnabas Junction. How are you all? Oh, what a busy week it has been with visitors like we had last week with the YouTube Tuesday from last week, and being out and about also for Deltic and whatsoever. Oh, it's been a massively busy week, but the better weather's arrived, and it's been wonderful out there. So how are you? And I hope you are looking forward to tonight's show. Not got much news to tell you this week. Pretty much everybody knows what's been going on, but there is a few little bits and bobs about TPE. They're being stripped of their franchises. That's a big one in the news recently. Anyone on the East Coast main line this Friday, the 21st of April, there's a Deltic operation. Locomotive Services Limited are operating a Deltic service from King's Cross to Edinburgh on Friday afternoon. Will you be trying to capture that if you are on the East Coast? It's a one-way service, so that's something I'll be looking forward to seeing some videos from all you guys out there on your channels. So let's say hello to everybody in the chat already. Let's scroll back to the beginning. So New Durham Junction Model Railway, Fly Mode, Chairman 1, Mouse Hole Rail, also Hemel Down Model Railway. Mark, good evening to you all. John A. Dawson says, hello everyone, just passing by and will be listening in while I'm at work. Hello, John, if you can hear me. Clybridge Station Robert, good evening to you, and also Simon Trains, Simon Pill, Model Railway Showcase, good evening to you. Cheers for joining us. Andy's in, Hot Dog Pilot, good evening, Andy. Who else is in that I've not said hello to? The Growler, Blackwood Engage Layout, good evening to you, he says. Digger's in, good afternoon, evening, Digger. When it's afternoon, I always say evening. When it's evening, I say afternoon. Who else is in? Let's see, hello to Langton Road, good afternoon. I've done it again. Good afternoon, good evening, and Mick of Edgley Park, good evening to you both. Dino, happy birthday, Dino, for this week. Many happy returns, Dino. It was his birthday this week. Brayton Junction, good evening to you. Who else is in? If you want to join the chat, make sure you're a subscriber. Owen, not seen you, Owen, for a while. How is things? How is the buses going? Who else is in and not said hello to? Clive Cabal. Clive, thank you for your latest photos. Email looking fantastic, my friend. Train Spotter 36 is in. Good evening. Hi, I haven't got sound this evening as I'm doing my model railway. Just got a board for my trains and testing everything to see if it runs well. Excellent. Dave Smith's in. Good evening, Dave. And Steve of Route 7 Railways in as well. Good evening, Steve. Who else is in? Anybody else? Morning, says Simon. Yeah, morning, Si. I start on the buses on Thursday. Oh, are you nervous, Owen? I'm wishing you well. You're going to love it. I know you will. The job's fantastic if it wasn't for you having to pick up passengers. Sorry. So today, and good evening, DB Schenker. Who's DB Schenker? It's certainly not me. Yes, I've got to say a huge thank you to Craig coming over last week. It was great to have him here visiting. He came all the way over from his hometown, Peterlee, on the northeast coast. It was great to spend those couple of days with him. It's been an absolute diamond, and I hope we can do it again one way or other if we can get up to you, or if you want to come down again. Absolutely welcome all the time. You and Marilyn, absolute gems, and we had a brilliant couple of days entertaining you and entertaining me as well, because he's just one big entertainer. Yeah, a bit, but I can't wait. It will be so much better than retail. Yeah, I'll agree on that. You've done kind of the same thing I did. I went from retail to buses. Yes, happy birthday. Oh, tomorrow, TS36. It's your birthday tomorrow. Many happy returns. And for anybody else's birthdays coming soon, many happy returns to you as well. How young are you, Train Spotter 36? Are you 37? Or are you somewhere else? We have to wait and see. I'll tune in when I can, but for now, bye. Be back later if I remember. No problem. Thanks for dropping in. Make sure you do click the thumbs up. I found that in my car, Flymo. What did you find? Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, dear. So I'll be watching quietly while eating din-dins. Oh, just had mine. Just had chicken wraps. Cheers, it was a pleasure. Scrapline, Tim. Great to see you, Tim. How are you? Been enjoying seeing some of your great photographs recently, Tim, especially of the sunsets wherever you are. Yeah, great to have you here, Tim. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be carrying on with the brambles today. So, Tim, these brambles are all down to you. So, everybody, if you want to congratulate anyone really on how I've done these brambles, congratulate Tim of Scrapline, because it's without his advice and his techniques, I would never have been able to do this. So a huge thank you to Tim for the tutorial you did on doing these brambles. They have come out exceptionally well. We're going to be carrying on with those. But what I want to be doing today is we're going to be building the model railway together. We're going to be working on our layouts together. So if you're working on your layout right now, why not come and join me on the stream and we can model together? So condition of joining tonight's stream is you must be working on your layout or a layout of some sort. So the link is in the chat. Please do click and join the stream. I'm going to switch the camera to this one here so you can see what's going on. But before we do, we've got to do the usual. Every week we do a big thank you to obviously our channel supporting members. Thank you to those channel members for helping to to support the channel each and every week with their memberships. Without those, I would never be able to do anything of this each and every week. It's been absolutely fantastic. Been a little quiet on the membership front recently, but that was all set to change. There's a lot more activity, a lot more videos and stuff in the pipeline ready to come out. It will be going out to channel members first. They get priority viewing of any updates, any videos that I will be publishing over the next forever, really, but definitely over the next few weeks. So if you want to get sneaky peek behind the scenes, you can do by becoming a channel member, or you can by being a Patreon member. So a huge thank you to Ivor Junction. He is currently my one and only channel member, Patreon member. So a huge thank you, Ivor. It's absolutely appreciated that you're over there. But don't forget, that does not mean you miss out on any of the channel membership stuff, because you will get priority as well there also. Owen there, he's celebrating his 2.5 years as a channel member. Massive thank you, Owen, for being such a sport, being a channel member. Huge thank you. Please do check out, obviously, all the channels. There are links to their channels that are members that can be found in the series description, each video during the series. Digger there is showing. Oh, whoa, he's saying 12 months. Well done, Digger. Thank you so much. Come on, all channel members, if you are here right now, share your membership time. Simon there, 31 months with his... Oh, he beats you, Owen. He beats you. But wonder who is been a channel member for the longest. Anyone else beat 31 months? Simon has the #1 spot at the moment with 31 months continuous channel membership. So yeah, if you are a channel member, come on, share your membership time with everybody and show your how much you enjoy being a member. Tell everybody else how great it is. Oh, New Durham Junction, he's the same as Owen on 30 months. Again, great appreciation, and thank you so much for being a channel member. There is a link to be a channel member in the description of all videos, and you can also find a join button on the home page of this channel. So if you want to become a channel member from as little as 99 pence a month, what can you get for 99p apart from a great channel membership from Barnabas Junction? Come and join the channel and get behind the scenes access to perks, stuff that doesn't generally go to the public, lots of behind the scenes photographs as it happens as well. So stuff that I don't do during these live streams that I do anytime during the weeks or months between, whatever it might be, of these Tuesday live streams, the channel members get to see it first, very much first. And also you get access to the channel members only live streams as well, but therefore level 4 and above. I hope you've not told the taxman about us membership lot. No, it's tax-free. Revolution Trains, what's that then? Some about Revolution's Trains. Anyone had issues with reviewing reviewing trains rolling stock, not rolling? Just purchased 2 Towex log carriers, had to ream out the axle boxes to get them to free run. Actually, talking of that, Growler, Craig, those biomass Curoscale biomass wagons that Craig brought over, he had to do some modifications to his wagons to make them go around corners because the axles were getting caught on the underframe, and he had to grind off some of the underframe on those wagons to get the axles to pivot. I think they were literally only turning a little bit. You can find that video. In fact, I think New Dawn Junction's just posted. Oh no, it's this link for his live stream last Sunday at Newcastle. Thank you very much, everyone, for the links. Any beaters on 31 months membership? Not seeing anyone beat it yet. I'll keep an eye on the chat. We're going to be bringing it up. I'll bring my phone over here. Les of Hale Station. Good afternoon. I've done it again. Afternoon, evening. Do you know why? It's because the lighter nights. I seem to think it's now like daytime. I still think it's the afternoon. And my body clock's really out of sync. So Les at Hale Station. Good evening, Les. Thank you for joining us. New name in the chat. It's great to have you here. Make sure you do smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying tonight's stream, and join us each and every week. Anybody else that I've not said hello to that's in the chat? Alan of Buckland Junction is in also. Good. And wow, Beaten Off Junction. Long time no see. How are you? Great. And Stanover Model Railway. Anybody else that I've missed? I hope I haven't. If not, if I have, then apologies, but we'll catch you in the chat in due course. So I'm going to switch the camera now to the closer camera, so you can get a closer look at the area I'm working on. As I said, if you're working on your layout tonight, come and join us in the chat and work with us. Let's model together. So again, I've just posted the link. Anybody who wants to join, you don't have to. You can quite welcome to just sit and watch me do the work on the layout tonight. Just in case anybody has not seen the previous ones, let me just grab this camera actually. Whoop. So anyone that's not seen the Brambles prior, there is what I've worked on. Again, this was all down to the superb tutorial by Tim of Scrapline. Superb they are, Tim. Absolutely love it. The only thing I didn't do was like you did, is let the brown of the polyfiber dry before I did any further. Due to doing it on live streams, I did it super fast. Train spotting with Dan YT. Good evening to you. Cheers for joining us. Make sure you tickle that like button, and Arthur Humphreys as well. Thanks very much. I'll just take you for another. See if we can get you really close to those. Let's see how close we can get it in focus. Yeah, look at that. Don't they look like brambles? Anyone want to grab a screenshot of that? That's superb, that is. I did work on getting the edging here brambled up as well. As you see, if you look further down here, I've not yet done any of it down here. But I've done that little bit. Overgrowth over the fencing there. Encroaching on the track side. Thanks very much, everybody. Looking good indeed. So just put that there now. So this is the area to work on. Let me just get that out of the way. There we go. So this is the area I need to finish. I need to get this area finished now, so then I can get the trees in here as well. So I'm hoping we can get this completely finished here today. Might look a lot. It is kind of a lot, but if we work at a good speed, we can get it finished. Bearing in mind, we do have, and you can just see it here, we do have the overgrown footpath in there. So we don't want to be putting any brambles on that. So it's pretty much just this area here and over this side as well. The side walls, the side fencing bits of brambles. Not too worried as of yet, because I'm actually going to go around a lot of the layouts. Trees in first, Jason? No, trees go in afterwards, because if I put the trees in, I won't be able to get the polyfiber around the base of the trees, the brambles around them. So I need to get the brambles on first. And I'm also going to be trying the ivy, Tim, the ivy up the wall bit just at the side here by the camera. Just before I do carry on, everybody, anybody know about Model Rail Crew? Model Rail exhibition coming to Crew, new one next year though. It's not this year. Please note it's 2024. Still works in the pipeline to get this up and about. There's going to be a lot of updates regarding layouts and exhibitors and that coming very soon on the social media for Model Rail Crew. So make sure you're following it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also checking out the website modelrailcrew.uk for full details. That is coming in 2024. So still plenty of time to book that in your diary. Yes, it's still 14 months away. Not this year, it's next year. The first exhibition will be next year. These are the Mark 1 flyers, by the way. There will be a new updated flyer coming very soon. Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree, Jason. Brambles, etc. first, then add the trees. Yes. Sunday, I'm free. I'm free. Anyway, just looking at what other people are saying. I might be able to make that. Yes, it is a Sunday. It's a one-off show. It's a one-day show for that first year. It was open to be 2 days, but the venue is only available for the Sunday only. It's already booked for the Saturday, so it had to be just the 1 day. But hopefully by the following year, if the exhibition is successful, it will be in 2025. It will be a 2-day exhibition. What was that I just saw? Am I going, Jason? Are you going to get? No, unfortunately, I'm not. It's a bit too far for me to travel. So unfortunately, I'm not going. I would like to go one day, but it's not so. It's not so. It's somewhere I've not been to. I think furthest I've been south for an exhibition is actually Worley's. Jason, you're going to get. Oh, hi, Zin. Hey, however it's pronounced. That is HH Express. We'll call it H. I think I could drive there probably, says Digger. Amazing how much detail you can get for layouts. I need to get one of those soon, hopefully. Look forward to that show. Be a nice ride out on the bike, says Steve. Yes, you're not far. Only, what is it, 30 minutes on the bike for you, probably? Yeah, super duper. Right, so let's get cracking because we're already 20 minutes into the show. No actual dedicated shout outs on the show tonight, but anybody that's in the chat, my moderators will be publishing links to your channels if you are in the chat. I was planning on doing a 1 model show per month, being to 7 this year, and we're only in month 4. Yeah, Simon, that's kind of not gone to plan, has it? Right, so I'm going to be using the same format I did with the previous, with a slight difference. That being is, instead of using the Mod Podge, we're going to be using layering spray to give it a fast attacking time. So getting me polyfiber. Love this stuff, Tim. It's your fault. I love this stuff. It's the best modeling materials ever. And because of that, I've got to go all the way around my layout now and adding all this lot on, changing a lot of my scenery. So I'm just spreading this out because it's going to bunch up again, but I'm just tearing it apart, all the big clumpy bits, because I need to get it quite thin. Because once it's got the paint on it, it's going to thicken up. So I need to make sure this can fit in this area here. It is still green, don't worry. It will be changing colour. Because remember, the bramble bit is the branches. Oh, that's a good pit. That's a good amount, that is, just for there. So that just fits perfectly. You can add a little bit more there right at the end. Well, that gives you an idea of where the brambles. Remember what I said about this. This brambles everywhere. Yes, green candy floss, indeed. Hello, Dave of Swindon Junction. Cheers for joining. I started doing some Sunday live streams the last few weeks. Still getting used to chatting to the screen. Yes, you have to get used to chatting to yourself. CSX, Wrensville. Good evening, Keith. Yes, lane spray. That's the way to go. That's the way to do it. I've found it's a lot faster to work with by using the layering spray, Keith. I am looking to rename my channel and make it into a railway channel. How did people think of their names for the railway? I need help. Well, my layout is named after the district that I live in. I live in Crewe, but I live in the what's called the St. Barnabas district, which is where the Crewe Works is. So that's where my name come from. The wife actually chose the name. So that's where the Barnabas Junction came from, because Crewe's a big junction of the northwest in the Northwest of Railways. The layout is very loosely based on Crewe, and I mean loosely, with little adaptations of areas around Crewe, here, there, and everywhere around the layout. So that's how I got my name. But a lot of people just basically go off the name of their street, that sort of stuff. Although be careful due to people getting to know exactly where you live. Mine is named after an area in Lanarkshire. Just got stuck in my head. Southern Train Girl, good evening. I nearly said afternoon then. Evening. How are you? Hope you are well. I need a drink. When you do these live streams, don't you get dry throats? So all that talking. Right, so we've got that first area there. This is the bit where I left it back off and it's all stuck down. Come here. I'm going to take it over to my card on the table over here. You can just see it. And not like I did before, where I absolutely drenched it. I'm literally just going to put a bit of glue on the card and wipe it around in the glue. In the paint, sorry. Not much, though. Literally, just that. I need a paintbrush, though. I need a paintbrush. Never come prepared, because my last paintbrushes have gone rock hard. No, that's a dried up one. I need one that's not dried up. No, dried up. That one will do. That one will do. It's kind of dry. It's a bit dried up, but it's not too bad. So what I need to do is just spread this out, because it will dry fast. Do need a little bit more than that on there. Whoops, I think that might be a bit too much. And now just literally put my polyfiber into it and roll it round. Coating the polyfiber. This is the only real messy bit. And like I say, it will all clump back up once the paint's on it. Getting as much of the paint on it. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we've got enough on there. Yeah, this is the bit where I get messy. Right, so to stick this down, this is where I will use the Mod Podge, because it's nice and thick. Just get me dried up paintbrush. Well, the glued paintbrush. I just need to dab some of this Mod Podge on here, just so it stick to the grass. Oh, the ends just fell off. Literally, just randomize it. That'll do. That should be enough to hold the polyfiber down. More than enough. Put the stick back on. Right. Polyfiber. Right. This is where it gets messy on my fingers. It's where I get paint everywhere. So I said it was going to all clump up again. That's what it's done. The paint will dry. Don't worry about it. So I'm just literally ripping it apart again. Anybody joining us in the stream? No more modeling now. No one else doing any modeling tonight? If you are, come and join us. Because I'm working on the far side, I can't see over it. Need some thicker areas and some thinner areas. Oop, just banged the camera, sorry. Let's move the camera back a bit. An airbrush would probably be able to do this a lot better. Unfortunately, I haven't got the airbrush available yet. I've not learned it yet. That's something I'm going to be doing in the warmer summer months, is playing with airbrushes. I think, well, I'm happy with that. Completely random growth. Oh, well, hello, Aaron and Leslie. Good evening to you both. Up well and onwards, and Leslie Gilpin Railways. Yeah, Steve, if you fancy it, if you're going to do some modeling, then feel free. DJ Express 2025, hello from Greenwood, Wisconsin, USA. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining us. Make sure you click the thumbs up button while you're here. Smallwood Junction, good evening to you. Let's have a look in the chat. Anybody else missed that I've not said hello to? No one that I've seen yet, but thank you, everybody. Nice to see some new names in the chat. So just playing, like titivating the polyfiber to make it stand up in places. Because obviously brambles are not flat. They do stick up. They do get everywhere. And the paint also that's on the brambles, I'm trying to smear that into the ground a bit. That's it. How are we looking down that side? How are we looking down that side, everyone? Because I can't see. Need a little bit down there, don't we? Let's pull some of this polyfiber down. There we go. Let's fill that gap in. So you're you all tuned in tonight. You're my eyes down this end of the layout. I can't see. I'm actually using the camera. But brambles can be everywhere, even in places where you least expect it. Indeed. And does anybody know what the worst plant growth, worst growth plant? Sorry, get it right. What's the worst plant for growth on the sides of railways? Can anybody think what it is? What does Network Rail call the worst growth on the railways? If you can think what it is, let us know what you think in the chat. What do you think? Does Network Rail, the railway industry, hate so much? What plant do they hate so much? So we've got giant hogweed, daffodils, Digger Evans, buddleia. Any other guesses? Ivy from Les of Hale Station. Slowberry bushes, buddleia, hawthorn, buddleia. Well, those that you're saying buddleia, you are quite right. It is indeed buddleia, because it's such a versatile plant. it will grow anywhere. You look at the railways, it grows in the ground, it grows in between the tracks, it grows on their sides, it spreads so easily. Just literally, a train whooshing past can spread the seedlings, and for it to it's so evasive. It will even grow in the brickwork, which is what's the worst thing for the railways, because once the roots expand in the brickwork, they can damage the brickwork, especially if it's bridges and stuff like that. It will damage bridges, and Network Rail detests the stuff. I love Budlear, but on the railways, it's nasty stuff. Right, now then, I'm going to have to move some things away now, because unlike what we did last time, we used the glue, didn't we? So I'm just trying to get the camera away so it doesn't get sprayed. So trying to get it far back as I can without blocking the image. Right, so you can just see the post just here. Right, unlike what we did with the glue, there can be tomato plants seen next to the railways due to seeds being thrown near the rails. That is right as well. Yeah, you will get wild tomato plants. Indeed, you do. It makes the railway look a mess. Yeah, it does. But it's great to model, isn't it? Every layout should have buddleia and brambles everywhere. So unlike the now applying the Mod Podge on top of that to add the scatters, using layering spray instead. Now this is the Peak. It is WW Cynics, but this is the Pico branded one. So that's what I started using. Ooh. My neighbour is using it to contravene light right across my front garden. I've got buddleia in my garden, but it's controlled. Which Network Rail would remove it properly at Carlisle? There's been one bush grown to 10 foot alongside a running line, but when I complained, Network Rail said the track work was exactly how they wanted it. Okay. Right, so literally we're adding a little scatter of layering spray. Just get me scatters. I want the darker one first, and we got running low on this, so we're getting the dark green for the top area. So we just literally sprinkle that on now. To give it back its bit of greenery, obviously, because we painted it brown, we've lost its greenery. But we need to give it back its greenery, because bushes. I'm in my own shadow here, because we painted it. Everything's green on the top, but underneath it's brown. We've lost the camera. That's because I pulled the cable out. Me and my legs. Sorry. It will be back in a moment. Camera will be back in a moment. Just waiting for the camera to come back alive. There we go. Oh, we've gone back to that one. Sorry about that. I went and pulled the cable out. There we go. We're back. I went and pulled the cable. I'll put it there so I can't pull it out now. Right, where were we? So, yeah, that's the good thing about having camera and microphone on separate. So if you disconnect the camera, you can't disconnect too much glue on the camera. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to bring the camera to this side. Okay, so you might get a better view. Does that give you a better view? That means I can move the cable away so I don't rip it out, disconnecting it. Is that better? Let's move it back a little bit more. There we go. So you get a slightly better view. It's a bit lighter, and I'm not sitting in the shadow. I'm just gonna tap it, shake that, just to let some of it fall down amongst it, amongst the brown, so it's not all on the top. Yeah, that's working nicely. I think we've got enough dark on there now. So now we lock that on at the same time. We're adding another layer. So this locks that on. Don't worry if you overspray it, because overspraying it's fine because it dries completely clear. Looking good, Jason. Thank you, Dave, of Swindon Junction. So now we add a slightly lighter green for the upper. We don't need as much, just to give it that extra tint of fresh growth. Like new leaves. Being quite liberal in places. I think. See, I can't see trackside. I think that's about enough. Yeah, that's enough. Don't want to overdo it. And then again, lock it in. And that is simple as that. Not adding any colour to that yet. I'll leave that until I've done the lot. Let's have a look at chat. Ben, did I just see Ben? Yeah, indeed. Eagle Creek Road. Ben, good evening, Ben. As again, if anyone is modelling on your layout tonight, why not come and model with me? There's the link again. If you want to come and join, feel free to do so. Green candy floss to bush with only some spray. Indeed. That is how easy it is. I think the most expensive stuff on that is the layering spray to do that, which obviously it goes a long, long way. I think I'm only on my second can, and I've been working on this layout for years. So if you're modelling tonight, come and join me. Let's model together. Right, so that's this side done. We've got to leave the gap for the footpath, although that will be slightly overgrown. And we do this side now, which will be a bit easier for me. I will bring the camera to this side. But let's get some more polyfiber. Now we need a slightly bigger piece for this side. So in fact, I'm going to have two pieces. All right. So again, so we're just ripping this apart. Yes, obviously, it's going to get clumped up, but ripping it apart so the paint can get in amongst it all. This might actually be enough to do this whole area. So I'm going to tear that down the middle. That's better, yeah. Let's test fit this. Is that enough? I think it is. I'm not too worried about right at the end, because I'm going to I can always add more. Don't have to do it all in one go. More candy floss. Yes. I love this stuff. I think it might be enough. Let's see. It's going to clump up. Yeah, I just need to check that we've got enough to be going on with. That's looking great, says DJ. Be glad to get this cast off my foot so I can get downstairs to the work on the layout. Ooh, hope you're okay there. Yes. Leave some areas that are not too overgrown. Howard, good evening, Howard of Howard Promfit. Good evening. Cheers for joining us. Currently looking at the movie Unstoppable. Brilliant movie. Yeah, that's kind of going over the edge. That's not a problem because there will be some overgrowth added to the edging area. That's going to blend in just nicely there. Leaving that path, I'll just bring the camera so you can just see the pathway, which will be receive a lot more overgrowing as well. I'm still yet to put some more on this edge in here because this is going to have a tree pretty much hiding it. So you can just see that's the candy floss. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, why did you bother static grassing? Well, you need to put the static grass underneath. Otherwise, you just end up with plain undergrowth. But I think I'm happy with that. So let's get some more paint out. So this that's on this piece of card has already dried. So there we go. A nice dollop of paint. Where's my brush? There it is. I'm just going to spread that out on the board. You obviously can't. I understand you can't see this at the moment. But I'm just spreading it out, ready for the polyfiber to be smothered in. With it being acrylic paint, it dries super fast. Right, so the green candy floss will be back momentarily. I'm just going to coat it in the paint, so be right back. But I'm just rolling it round in the brown paint, soaking it all up into the, obviously the green goes, but it doesn't matter if you don't get rid of all the green, still leave some green in it. It's not essential that it's completely and utterly covered over. So I'm just spreading it about, soaking up all that paint. This is quite a large piece, so I might actually shred this into two pieces, you know. So yeah, I'll put that one to one side, and let just it's becoming a bit struggling with the such a large piece. So maybe that's something to think about. Do it in small pieces. There's piece one, yeah, and piece two. So I'll just put piece one to one side and start smothering piece two in, soaking up that paint. There we go. Right. Next thing is, I don't need to bother with getting paint on my fingers. Get the Mod Podge again. We need to add an adhesive to the top for it to stick to. I'm not bothered about making a mess because that's the best bit of modeling. Oh, the ends fell off again. My end's always falling off. Just get a bit down this fencing edge. Don't matter if I get it on the fencing because brambles obviously go over the fence. Right, that's that done. Let's get physical. No, shut up, Jason. It'll start raining. So let's get the brambles back out onto the hillside and start spreading it about. Breaking it all up. So separating it all the fibers. Don't want it too thick. You need it to be like transparent so you can see through it. That's looking good. Yep, pleased with that. Quite a bit down there. Good amount there. That's good. Yep. Bit of a gap. And what we'll do is actually the paint that's on my fingers, I'm just going to spread it on this path to make it look dirty and old. Oops, there's one of my steps that broke off. There we go. And I'll just get the second piece as well. And we're going to rip a bit more off that because I want that right down there. There we go. Well, it's got to be quite thin on this edge. Just add a little bit more there. That's it. Spread it out. Nice big thick clump there. That's good. Don't want it sticking out too much because obviously the trains that come past this beam here, don't want them catching on it too much. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And again, just dirty the path up. Buckley Junction, GWR Buckley Junction, good evening to you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get this brush. I'm just going to get any paint that's left on this car, just paint it on. There's going to be some more scenic material going on here, but I just want to dampen down the colours in there on that path. That's it. It's still kind of overgrown, but still visible. I'm saying well hello to one another. Thank you very much for joining us. Right. So just move my phone out of the way. Don't want to get static grass. Just moving the camera back a bit. Don't want to get static grasses on the layering spray on those. There we go. That's the first coating. Let's get the dark then. Back to the dark. And again, sprinkling over. Getting the join between the existing grasses. Oh yes. Starting to blend nicely now, that is. And don't want it to fall in huge clumps. We're wanting it to sprinkle it down in small patchy clumps. Small, not clumps, no, small patchiness. Good evening to Robert. Are we modelling, my friend? I'll just turn.
I'm very well.
Because I'm muted. Hang on. Hello, Robert.
Hello there, Jason. Can you hear me and can you see me?
Well, I can hear you and I can see the layout, but I can't see you.
Well, that's the main. That's good as long as you can see the layout. Yeah, this is what I finished doing at the weekend for everybody. I've made up. I've rebuilt the garden centre for the B&Q, and because Clyde Bridge is set in 1990, I've made it look like as it would be in 1990.
Very
So
old
we've got there
diesel.
the racking. Yeah, just let everybody see that there. So we've got the pallet racking and the pallets. They're from West Hill Wagon Works. And
Excellent. I think we're losing you, Robert, again. I think your connection's struggling. Just give it a couple of minutes, see if Robert
right,
comes
can you
back.
hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you again. Yes, you're back.
Right. I think what I'll do, Jason, is I won't zoom in. I'll just stay as I am here. But what I've got, I'll get a pencil. So the pallets there, they come white, and I've spray painted them blue using paint from Halfords. And then we've got here the plant table, and I've put some scale model scenery daffodils on it. That was just made out of scrap grey board. And then I've made a little entrance from the garden centre into the store. And this is the scale model scenery chain link fencing, which I believe you've got on your layout, Jason. Is that right?
On the TMD, yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Now, what I've had to do is, yeah, it is absolutely hellish though to try and put together, but I managed to, I call it a torture yourself kit. One thing I had to do was, just here, I was originally going to have the emergency gate here, but then it would have been too wide, and in reality we would have hit the building. So what I've had to do is make a little throat, as it were, and put the emergency gate here, and there's a little bit of fence in there, so it's a little bit narrow. It's like imagine the shape of a bottle. That's what I've done there.
Yeah.
And then we've got another gate here. And the back scene, I just simply, once again, got a Google Street View image and glued it onto the back scene. And that's actually the car park from the St Nicholas Gate retail park in Carlisle.
Excellent.
So I've done that. And if everybody could just see, I've got that bit done there. So it's really this bit here I've got to do. So you'll see all this getting done in the May update. I'm still trying to get a retail park image for this bit here. It's proving a little bit difficult, folks, but I'm determined to get there. But yeah, the racking and the pallets are from West Hill Wagon Works, folks. And as I've already mentioned to you, the other bits are from Scale Model Scenery. And as for the B&Q logo, that was just an internet search engine, and then copy and paste onto a document and get it printed out. And it has had B&Q seal of approval. They've seen it.
Excellent. Right, so I'm done there with the gatters on there. Blended in nicely, very patchy. It's the whiteness is the spray, obviously, that's got to dry and the glue underneath. Once that's dried off, it will look like that. It will go darker and look like that side there. You can see just where the whiteness starts there as it blends into the area we've just done. And you've just seen how fast I've done that whole area, how quick and easy that was. Don't be afraid to give it a go, because it is really, really easy to do brambles. I think you're frozen again, Robert. Oh no, your camera's just jumping a little bit. Let's have a look what everyone's saying in the chat. You need graffiti on the post, Jason. No, that post is not there, remember. There's no such, that post does not exist. That poster does not exist. We've got to remember, it's not there. New name for your channel, Flymo. Suggestion, guys. I'm thinking of Plastercloth. I am thinking of Plastercloth. Me layout as in the Woodland Scenics Rises, but don't not want to put coke down, as it is good ideas or not. Cork down, I presume that says. So I am thinking of Plastercloth. in my layout. As in the Woodland Scenics rises. Right. GWR, yes, you could use the risers. That's what I've got behind this hillside. That is risers behind there. And this is plaster cloth and sculptor mold. So I plaster clothed off the risers down to the board and then sculptor molded on top of it once it obviously set. So yeah, you don't put plaster cloth underneath the track, because as it dries, it goes sets hard and sets lumpy. It won't be super smooth, and when you come to put track over the top, or even cork, it will be like that. So the risers are smooth. Just put your cork straight onto the risers. Plaster cloth from the top of the risers down for your hillside. That's a tip. Don't plaster cloth underneath your track. I tried that and it was a mistake. I had to take it off. Flymo says excellent detail, Clybridge.
Yeah, this is my second attempt at the garden centre.
You don't have to put GWR. You don't have to put cork down. I've not got any cork down. I've got sponge. It's actually underfloor underlay sponge, 6mm thick underneath this layout, and that's perfectly fine. I think there's not one piece of cork on this layout. Just looking back, did I see Trevor? Yes, Trevor Stubbs is in the house. Good evening, Trev. Anyone else I've not seen? I'm just catching up with the chat from everyone because obviously I've been doing that. I've not been able to read. Moderator's doing a fabulous job posting links to people's channels. Sorry to say, Jason, but I can see it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not there. Pretend you can't see that post, GWR. Yeah. Forgot to post that post. Yeah, all right, sigh. The jokes are starting. David Train Time. Did I see? Yes. Good evening, Dave. Cheers for joining us. Hey, David, long time no see, says Ben to David. Yes, David is slowly coming back onto the scene. Right, Jason and chat. I'm at work. Oh, you're going to get told off, Trev. You better get back to work. I've just been called back in. Something's broke down. Going to be fun. Lot laters. Have fun, Trev, at work, you naughty boy. You've got some interesting news, haven't you, Robert, coming soon?
I have indeed, yes. Because
I know what that news is behind the scenes.
I have indeed, yes.
So no sneaky peeks and no clues. No, just make sure you check out Clybridge Station's channel, because he's got some interesting news to tell everybody in the next coming weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, in fact, all being well, it should be on the Clybridge Station Facebook page on Saturday or sometime next week.
Excellent. I've just had a comment there. Why not paint it with the colours of the background so it's not that in plain sight? I did think about painting it the same colour as this blue, but I haven't got any spare, and I forgot to try and find some more. I did consider trying to put a bit of a back scene around them, and I have got one over on the far side with a test back screen on it, back scene on it, but I wasn't happy with it. But I do have another potential back scene to go on it that I can wrap around. I'll be able to just tuck it in, so don't worry. Paint a house or like on the post. I could write like, couldn't I? Write the word like. If you like this post, give it a thumbs up. I get it. So if anybody else is modeling tonight on your layout, please come and join us. Come and show us your modeling on your layouts. Come and model with us. Enjoy the stream. I'm going to add some berries. I need to know where's my red now. Just going to add a skittering of berries on that, just to give it a little bit of colour. Not as much as I have done, because I do think I'm going to try and pick some of that red off, because I think I put a little bit too much on. Just a little tiny amount. It's all gone quiet.
Yeah.
That's it. That'll do. I don't want to overdo
My garden centre will need a couple more pallets on the bottom of the racking and a couple of people in it, but I'll hopefully get people next month at the Glenrothes Model Railway Show. Should pick up some figures, and then I'll just glue them into position. And if you're wondering what the loads are that's on the pallets, well, this is what I've used.
I think I've got
Wagonworks piles.
I've got a box full of Westall Wagonworks stuff here somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah, it's just
I might actually have those.
Yeah, because I'm going to use some of these bundles at the WH Smith, and for a newspaper vendor, I'm going to add onto the street scene at a later date. But I've used a couple of the bundles as loads for the pallets.
It's not that box. It's another box that's over there. I thought it was that box, but it's not. It's another box over there. Excellent. Does the layering spray not affect the track? I usually cover my track when using it. No, it doesn't. Well, it does. Just basically let it. You can cover the track, but it's quicker just to leave it and then just go over it with a track rubber. Signal cabin, good evening. Just go with the track rubber after, because it dries that fast and it comes off really quick and easy. I can just feel a little bit of it on there, I just feel a little bit, which is rubbing off on my finger actually. And it actually sticks, the dirt sticks to the layering spray. So when you scrape off the layering spray with the track rubber, it pulls all the dirt off as well. But yeah, I can just feel a bit of it on the front track here. Yeah, just there. I can feel a little bit's dried on it. That rail's fine. Just literally, don't even know where the track rubber is. Track rubber on it, perfectly fine. Because you're not using a liquid-based glue, it's not going to seep down into the sleepers. So you're not going to get the major effect of glue on your track affecting it. So layering spray, you can just literally scrape off or rub off with track rubber. Simple as that. I'm pleased to finally get this area. Next thing for me to do along is, like I've done, is just add a little bit of hanging over on both sides. Can't do that on stream because I need to get behind with my head and bang my head on the camera. But what I am going to do is, so now we've got this here all stretching along. And if we go past the beam, you can see my previous modeling scenics. I now need to add some brambles on that side for it to make it look like it's gone straight through. So at the moment we've got, just move the microphone arm. It just goes from one to the other. It's like a break, a scenic break, but I want to try and get that blended round. So we'll get a bit of the polyfiber underneath those trees, just over this hillside bit here. Because what I want to pretend is that footpath, which is on that side, is actually coming through here around these trees, and originally did connect up to the footpath that's here for the bridge, but it's obviously since all overgrown. I might get a bit of this yellow on that brambles as well. Ian Fraser from up the road from myself. Good evening to you. Hi to you. Thanks for joining us. Just done the brambles on this side. Looking brilliant, that. And we're getting anybody that is modelling tonight is welcome to come and join us. Clive Bridges is showing off his layouts. He's struggling with a bit of connections, but he needs to get a Wi-Fi booster in there, Robert.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to sign off in a minute, Jason, but I'm just going to show everybody that's my house. I don't know if you can see it. That's my house just up there with the alarm on it.
Quite a long way down to the shed
indeed.
there.
But another thing, Jason, now this might give you an idea of what to put on your layout. As a lot of people will know, I work for W.H. Smith, who are based in a famous railway town, Swindon. My previous employer, and that's why there's a W.H. Smith on the layout, and there's a W.H. Smith van there, and another W.H. Smith in the shopping centre. But my previous employer was Focus DIY, who were based at Gosworth House in another famous railway town, Crewe, where you are.
Yes, we have one, and was one just up the road in Nantwich as well.
Mm-hmm. So there's a possible idea for you, Jason. Build a Focus DIY.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. TK Maxx is in the location of the Crewe one, and B&M's now own the location of the Nantwich one.
Brilliant. I'm on a group about Focus DIY, so I'll let them know what you've said about those two. There's TK Maxx and B&M that now own.
But did you know that Focus DIY was actually a subsidiary company of B&Q?
No, it was a subsidiary company of W.H. Smith, in fact.
Well, it might have been because B&Q is the Kingfisher Group, and the Kingfisher Group own a lot of companies. Yeah, they actually own Screwfix.
Mm-hmm. They owned Comet and Woolworths, Superdrug.
Yeah,
Savers.
So many companies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Focus was one of them, which originally was taking you back in time. Do It All. Do you remember that?
Do It All was set up by W.H. Smith in the early 1980s, and they sold it later on to Boots. Focus DIY started out as Payless DIY, and I think there was a sort of reverse takeover, and it became Focus.
Yeah.
When they bought Do It All from Boots, it became Focus Do It All.
That's totally correct. Well done. Yeah.
And then after they bought Great Mills in 2001, it became just plain Focus.
Yeah. What's that there, Digger saying? A 400 sub giveaway contest on HNX Express's channel. I'll have to check that out. I'm on a bit of a winning streak on my competitions at the moment. Talking of competitions, I want to say a huge thank you to Trevor Stubbs. He very kindly hand-delivered my prizes that I won from his competitions that he was running throughout March, and they are beautiful. I would have shown them tonight, but I didn't want to get any paint or anything on them, so they will be shown in a later stream. Also, a huge thank you to Craig of New Dunn Junction. Obviously, we all know he visited, but he brought me many packets, 4 packets of this new Yoo-Hoo gel. Not the Yoo-Hoo stringy glue. This is the Yoo-Hoo gel, non-drip. Apparently available in pound stretchers, I believe, for £1 a tube. But if you, everyone that knows I do love gel glue. I think it's the best super glue going. In fact, Flint Hills just put in big thanks to all for getting me. Yes, indeed. I see it. Yeah, it's already been handled. 1,000 subscribers from Jeff of Hammond of Flint Hills. Well done. 1,000 subscribers to you. Congratulations. Welcome to the 1K Club. It does work really well. It's just like everyone knows, obviously, I do use super glue gels. But this is it's exactly the same as super fast super glue gel, except you get a little bit longer drying time with this because it's Yoo-Hoo glue. But as with all glues, if you use a super glue activator spray, regardless of the length of time you get with the longer taking glues, it will set instantly. All this fencing I've put around here is all attached with super glue gel. And I put it on, I glued the sticks into place, held them in, sprayed the activator on, and you can actually hear the glue as it goes and sets rock solid. You actually see the activator spray make the glue go rock solid. Literally set in a second or two, just that. But yeah, all this fencing around this embankment is stuck down with super glue gel with activator spray. The super glue gel, it doesn't run everywhere like normal glues, but what it does is it gives you that time to work with the glue to manipulate and get it held in place. It's super strong, super strong. Right, Robert, I'm going to drop you off. We've got another one down in the basement. In fact, I'm going to bring him in before you go. It's Alan.
Okay.
Alan, hello.
Hello, Alan.
Oh,
He's struggling in the loft.
Alan, you'll do
yeah,
yourself
I'm in
an
my
injury.
little hole working away.
You're busy working away, Al. What are you up to?
I'm trying to get this corner finished here. But I'm in the service hatch, so I'm really kind of like locked in for the moment. But yeah,
You're in the tiny hole.
Yeah, in the hole in the corner. I've been in the corner a few times in my life, but
nobody puts Alan in the corner.
And I'm converting one of my bridges to do.
There we go. Put him full screen so everyone can see him in his little hidey hole.
Oh dear.
So, what is it you're doing? Your bridge? Are you there, Al?
Yeah, there's two bridges, an embankment. It's quite a busy corner, this, because as you know, I've got two layers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it both hills marry in with each other, so it looks like they've been cut through. But easier said than done.
But it's why we love model railways.
Yeah, that's got to be done, as you said. But yeah, I'm converting one of my bridges to go around the corner. Look. So
cool.
All good fun. All good fun. All right. And yeah, this is
just
where
watch
my
your back, Alan.
box is going.
Yeah.
Sorry, watch my back.
Yeah, be careful with your back. Don't want you pulling your back out.
I should be all right. I'm fairly flexible.
I'm loving the is it leopard skin print box?
What?
It looks like a leopard skin print box.
What this?
No, the box just by your neck in front of the camera. Is it like a leopard skin print?
I'm not sure what you're looking at. This?
Yeah, it looks like a leopard skin print.
No, it's a basket with all my heavy weights in.
Ah, cool. From on the camera, it looked like leopard skin.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say now. But yeah, I won't be able to say much.
The battery's going. So, yeah, the battery's going low on my phone, so I'm going to leave the room now and let you and Alan have a good chat. But thank you for having me on, Jason, and thank you as well, Alan.
Thank you for coming and joining us.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, I will do.
Thank you for Robert and joining us on tonight's stream. So, Al, are you going to be getting on with scenic stuff, as in bushes and stuff? I know you're not a fan of grasses.
No, I've had Mark from Stanover Model Railway, Captain Static's been here.
Captain Static.
He's had a go at one hill. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, has he been busy? Has he?
He has been busy, yeah. Because I know you like your static materials and that. It's the one bit of model railway I'm really not happy with. Don't mind making landscapes and things, townscapes. electrics, but when it comes around to static grass and scenery, it's just not for me. So thankfully, Mark comes up and sorts it out for me.
So what do you what do you think of this,
in...
what do you think of this polyfiber then, Al?
I've never used it. Sorry to say.
What do you think about how it's come about? How it's looking?
Oh, I think what you're doing is wonderful. I wish I had the patience to do it, but
I'll bring myself up on full screen so you can get have a look.
Yeah, that is lovely. It really is nice. But I do struggle with scenery. It's the one thing I struggle with. Don't mind landscapes and making hills and things, but scenic stuff is not for me.
Really pleased.
I have had to do it, but I don't like it.
The next thing is, I'm just letting it focus. Next thing is for me on this is get cracking with this signal box, getting it really run down, getting some of the windows boarded up. We'll be cracking on with that, dirtying up the brickwork with some black wash, dirtying up the door. Really, really going to go to town on really making that look real old.
You're going to pan all the windows over?
Yeah, because several of the windows are going to get boarded up. Might even the door may even like try and semi-board up the door, maybe put some planks over it, that sort of thing.
All right. We'll make it look like the kids have set it on fire.
Yeah, could be. Could have pretended to have been burnt out round the back or somewhere. Someone's tried to create a fire. Yeah, could do that. But yeah, definitely the window. That's going to get boarded up all round here. That's definitely going to get boarded up.
On my trip, I went to Market Eastport, now model train Fantasia. He had an old
Mark.
He had an old triang signal box with a burn hole in the roof, like the kids had set it on fire, and it was really effective.
Steve of Route 7 Railway dropped in there, but then I was just about to add him and he vanished. He was down in the basement with the spiders. Just checking, see if he comes back. One thing I will do, if I can refine where it is, which I can't. Hang on, where is it? There we go. No, that's show headline, show display names. There we go. So everyone can see who is who. So I'm just going to drop it into the chat once more. If you are modeling tonight, then feel free to come and join us. There's the link to the stream. Happily come and join us. We will be online for a little bit longer. So if you're modeling tonight, then why not come and join us and show us your work. Show us what you're up to. Got some news to announce towards the end of tonight's stream, so make sure. Have I named the signal box yet? No, I haven't, but thank you, Ian, for highlighting that, because that is something I wanted to actually bring to the attention of people, because there is a post on my community tab on the channel, and Steve has just come back in, so I'm just going to add Steve while I have a look.
There is a
good evening, Steve,
on my community tab.
I can hear myself. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Well, that's brilliant. Sorry about the lighting. It's a little bit stark in here.
Oh no, it's absolutely fine. You might be better if you rotate to landscape. There we go. So we can see more of you now.
Okay, good.
Excellent stuff. So yes, over on my community tab, I will repost the post that I put out in regards to the naming of the signal box. So thank you, Ian, for reminding me on that. So we had I put a post out, and it was a name is required for the signal box. Comment your suggestions below. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that now. Get your names in. get your name ideas in. Because next week, I am looking next week to be choosing the top 5. So the simple rules are for choosing a name for the signal box is the name has to have either something related to crew, a meaningful relation to the layout, something on the layout, but it needs to be not too long, as it needs to be able to fit on that front area there. You can just see that area there. Once I've got a name, I will add the name and then weather it up when I do the brickwork. So that's why I've not touched the signal box yet, because I want to get the name on it and then weather it all up with the name on it. So let's have a look at what names we have already had. So looking at the comments, here we go. Starting with the very first was from Eagle Creek, Ben. How about something simple like Barnabas West, or something crew related such as Bartholomew or Coppenall? Very good ideas. As this is the northern end of crew representing. So yeah. If it was West crew, it would be more towards Bentley Motors towards Chester. As that's the west side of crew. So yeah, it could be, because that's kind of where the Barnabas district is. That's a good idea. Mark of Hemel Model Railway said the railway station gave its name to the town of Crewe. That was actually situated in the ancient parish of Coppenall. Correct. Someone's been on Wiki here. In 1936, the railway station was transferred from the civil parish of Crewe to then the municipal borough of Crewe. This was taken from the Wikipedia site to the name Coppenall Junction, is my suggestion, in keeping with the heritage of Crewe. Very good. So we've had 2 people mention Coppenall, which is good. That's a good one. H&H Express, hi, says, what about simple Crewe Junction? The model train guy, he said, Crewe Steel Works, or Beeston Castle, or Tarpley. Yeah, could very well be. They are close by. That one I don't particularly want to mention, but I know I've got to have to. Simon Trains, he says Shanks Junction. Cheers, Si. The Growler, he says Tunnel Box. Yeah, it could be. It's right by the tunnel. Chris Berrington, I like this one. Grand Junction, or Crewe Works, because that's a good one. Or Oat Cake Junction. Yeah, Grand Junction, big connection to the town of Crewe, because it's obviously the Grand Junction Railway. Excellent. And Ian, who reminded us, he says, how about Alex Junction after the football team? Well Chuffed Railway said Bartholomew. Yeah, very, very close, because it is close by. And Owens Model Railway says the Mucky Hole Junction. Yes, the Mucky Hole. Brian of Finnerton Central says Finnerton Junction. But then he says, seriously, how about Eagle Creek Junction? So we've had one. Let's have a look then. So at the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 suggestions of names. So I'm looking for a lot more. Please find the post on my community tab on this channel and post your ideas. I have just reshared it back to the community tab. So check it out and post your suggestions of names, please. We'll be running down the top 5 suggestions, and we're making a list of them all, and we'll go from there. And I think we've just had a suggestion come through. We certainly have. And it's from Tim of the Scrap Line. Thank you very much, Tim. He's just given us a Bramble Bank box. I like that. Bramble Bank box. Thank you very much, Tim. Although, what was there first, the brambles or the box? Thank you very much for the suggestion. That's getting a thumbs up and a thank you. Keep your suggestions coming along. I will be looking forward to reading through those. So then, Steve, what are we up to tonight?
Well, all this area here, I've created to be a bit of a fiddle yard, a shunting yard.
Okay.
Just to give me something separate from the actual main tracks that I can mess about with, and a bit more play value, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you get some shunting movements around.
Yeah, I'm just pinning some track down. There's going to be an engine shed there. I don't know. Can you see that? There's going to be an engine shed just there. And I'm going to split these lines so that I can, because I'm on DC. Yeah. I'm going to split them so I can store a couple of locomotives on each section.
Right, and then isolate them, yeah.
Yeah, and just bring them in and out. At the moment, if I just swing you around, I have a very small fiddle yard at the side there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a mirror image of that. Excuse me for moving you around. Over the other side, you can see I've got kitchen there.
Yeah.
But it's not big enough.
Right.
The outside one is, because that's part of a loop all the way around. So I've got huge trains in there in the past. Like that Freightliner there has got 8 spine wagons on the back of it going all the way around.
Right, so filling up a lot of space, yeah.
So and I've just been progressing with that.
Are those Lilliput houses?
Oh, they are, yeah. I used them on the other side over there to give me some forced perspective because they're a little bit smaller.
They're smaller than good idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, and they were cheap as chips on internet if you look. Because usually they come with a bit of damage like that. Yeah. But you can easily paint that. And with this one, this is a lift out. I've turned this side into a lift out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've just grassed that over. I'm going to put some gravel track in, a bit more hedge, and more trees, of course.
Some excellent scenics there going on below.
Yeah, what I've done, I've gone slightly off realistic, and I've gone for crazy colour.
Why not? Autumnal.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of everything in there, and I just like it. It's just fun.
Yeah, nice bit of colour. It brightens up any layout.
Yeah. So excuse me. So this area now, I've just pinned these bits of track down, and the way I do my ballasting is I do it in 2 phases. I neat PVA, if you like, the banks on this foam track bed. I neat PVA along the sides and in the middle, and I just pile all of the fine ballast on, and it sticks immediately because it's neat. And I vacuum off the excess, and then when that's dry, because I can still use the trains immediately after, because I don't actually put it on the track.
Got you, yeah.
And then what I do is I use that stuff, Ballast Magic. It's not a plug, but it's just that I use it. Because, and then when it comes to do the center, I just put the ballast down the middle, spray it, mixed with the Ballast Magic, and then I just brush it, and it overflows and ties in with the stuff I've already put on.
Excellent. Just going on that, we just had another 2 comments on the signal box suggestion. Craig at New Durham Junction's just come up with a suggestion of Bashwell Box Junction and Gresty Bank Junction from Mick of Edgeley Park. Excellent suggestions there. They will be going down on the list. Just refreshing that. I've just spotted, because I'm not watching the chat on my phone, because Rob of RGJ Trains is in the chat saying hello from Bournemouth. Him and Grace are down working in Bournemouth this weekend. Just looking at other suggestions in the chat from people. Just looking at West Portal, Rachel Junction box. Right, Flymo says quite a bit of track lane going on there, Steve.
Yeah. Well, that's done now. That's actually ready for PVA because you can hide a multitude of sins with PVA and ballast.
Yeah.
So I'll be just hitting that with neat, and I'll just show it. I could show you just down the middle there.
Ah, cool.
So if I just get me PVA, which I've got a gallon of it, and then it takes no time at all, really.
Oh, I don't know what I've just done. I've just done something. Ooh, I'll cancel that. Oh, I'm just messing there. So keep the name suggestions coming in for the signal box. Check out the community tab. Get your suggestions in there, and we'll be looking at them next week. Well, but don't worry, Alan. We haven't forgotten you there. We're just having a look at what
No worries.
Steve's up to.
Yeah, well, I use extra fine ballast.
Right, is that Woodland Scenic's fine?
No, it's what's I can't remember the name of it now. It's a smaller outfit than Woodland Scenics. It's a bit cheaper.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The name escapes me for the minute. But I'll just if I do it, just pile it on.
Rob says actually he's looking at Ballast Magic. It's okay, but it's expensive.
Yeah, that's the only downside. But
I wouldn't recommend it. By using PVA water, either neat PVA or PVA water mixed with washing up liquid, the good thing about it, if you're using PVA in general, is if you need to lift the track up again afterwards, all you got to do is wet it at the ballast, and the PVA liquidizes again, softens up, and you can just lift the track. With Ballast Magic, it's set solid and it stays solid. You can't get it back up again. It damages.
Yeah, that's it. Depends how you want to work. I tend to lay this, and then because I take a long time to decide where it's going to be, and then once it's down, it's down.
Simon, do you want your comments cancelling? He's just put Schenker Junction.
Ooh.
No,
you should have said that.
Jarvis.
Jarvis, that's it.
Yeah.
Jarvis.
Same I've got.
Yeah, I tend to use the super fine stuff because the medium was a bit chunky, and if you actually measure it, some of the pieces would in real life would be about a foot square.
Yeah, that what I've got is JFG. It's my initials, so that's I always know the code for it. It's JFG7. It says fine ballast, but I think it's a bit bigger than fine.
Yeah,
but my whole layout's done with it, and what I like about it is when you put it down, it's a light grey, but when you stick it, when I use me mixture to glue it in place, it goes a dark color and stays dark. So
yeah,
and it looks more natural. I think it's really good.
Well, I'm just hiding all sorts of nonsense under this.
So just bring Al back. Let's swatch you pair over. Al's busy, still busy working away on the layout there.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm putting in road sections at the moment, made from 2mm card that's been painted with PVA and black watercolor.
Right. Do you not find that the card like bent curls up with painting it?
Oh yeah, yes, it does curl up, as you can see.
Right, yeah. I had that instance. I
You can just simply reshape it the other way around.
Yeah.
It does make great road surface, though.
Yeah, some areas I've used it. I've used card for the road surfaces, but in other areas I've just gone straight on board and painted the board. I did have. I'll tell you what I did use once, and that was mount board.
All right. Yes.
I painted that, and as the paint dried, the whole board, it went from flat. It went. It curved up into a U shape.
Yeah. There's your board that you were on about, the old
Yeah, because it's a
2 mil
foam
board, and
board.
that's it with watercolor on it.
Ah, cool.
And I have used wet and dry in places.
Yeah.
Wet and dry paper. All makes good road surfaces. But well, I'm going back down to the model room now, Jason. So you might want to
Rightio.
chuck me out and get somebody else in.
Uh,
So I've got to get out here, and it's not a pretty sight.
Right. So, well, thank you very much for coming and joining us working on the layout, Al. It's great to see you back up in the loft.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we
Another
look forward
video
to
coming very soon.
new video. Next live stream for yourself.
Probably Sunday evening again in the workroom.
Rightio. So look out for Al's live stream and new video coming soon on the layout.
Yeah, he easily ends up as pissed as a handcart at the end of it. So never mind.
Lovely, Al. Thank you very much for coming and joining
All
us and showing your work
Yeah.
progress. Take care.
Take care, guys. Thanks for coming along.
Huge thanks to Al for joining us. Great to see him back in the loft. So Steve's working hard there, getting the glue in place, which I suppose it really isn't a problem with you putting it neat down in the middle, because that's like it's the shoulder, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah, that if you look there on the main track, if you like, there's a shoulder that's just stuck to the chamfer on the side of the foam track bed.
Yeah.
So it forms like 2 rails of a shoulder out there, and when you do the ballast magic, you use a quarter of the amount, because you're only filling in the middle, and a little bit of overflow goes in between the edges of the sleepers.
Yeah.
So you actually don't use a lot of ballast magic, I know, because it's expensive.
Yeah. That's the only thing that put me off using it. It was because the amount of that you would need compared to the expense of it, it just wasn't viably cost
See
worthy.
this whole setup. That whole setup is 1 bottle of ballast magic.
Right.
Because for more than half of the ballast is done with the PVA down the middle.
Right, got you. So you've pardon the pun, you've made it spread out.
Absolutely, yeah. And it turns out okay anyway for me. And it's just the way I like it. And then once you spray the ballast magic with a bit of water, that sets it off. You don't use too much water, and you can literally with a soft cloth wipe your rails. And I mean, I've done it in a video before where I've done the final part of the ballasting, and literally 10 minutes after I've done the spray, I've wiped the rails with the water, and I'm running trains.
Cool.
You don't need to leave it overnight to dry, because it's not affecting the running of the trains. Doesn't affect it at all. And sometimes watered down PVA takes forever to dry.
Yeah, especially in cold weather.
Yeah.
Us modelers, we learn from our mistakes there.
Well, if you speak to 20 modelers, there's 20 different ways of ballasting.
Absolutely, yeah. I've done some ballasting with PVA water mix where I have put too much water in it, and it's taken nearly 2 weeks to dry.
Yeah, I've seen people doing it where it ends up getting into if they use softwood plywood for their top board.
Yeah, it soaks into the wood, and then
and it delaminates.
Yeah,
it delaminates and starts to warp. Now, if you see here where the track is a bit lifted, just there.
Yeah, just see that lifting up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just put a big pile of PVA on that, and it just slightly goes in between the sleepers. I just wipe the top like that,
and then eventually that'll take it down. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I just pile ballast all into it, and then when I just leave that for a while, and then I just vacuum all the excess off, and I've got the rest of it to carry on.
Do you press it down at all, or you just literally just leave it?
On that one, I will actually put a little. It's pinned down, but to be honest, it's slightly raised on a bit of glue, that I forgot to take off. But what I'll do, I'll just put a little weight on that.
Yeah.
And that won't take long
Okay.
to go off. Like so now I've done the main part of the ballast in the time I've been on, just for that bit of track.
Yeah, yeah.
And
do you enjoy ballasting? Do you enjoy ballasting, Steve?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you enjoy ballasting?
You know what? I'm sorry to say, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that say absolutely detest it.
Yeah. When you say you like ballasting in the model train world, it's like coming out.
Yeah, it's like what? You like
yeah,
what?
to go, what? Is that even worse than collecting thimbles? People say.
I think it's really. It's just like scenery at the end of the day. It's part of the scenics.
Yeah,
and it's so therapeutic.
Yeah,
You
and
just sit
you
there
get
ballasting for hours and time.
yeah, and you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah,
it's like when you're putting you know, your flock on the to give it some texture and color.
Yeah.
I usually just make up a mix of 4 different greens.
Yeah.
Mix it all together and just lash it on, because you invariably are putting all the stuff over the top. So like there, when I did it on the rocks, underneath, that's painted brown, but it's coffee grounds to give it texture. A dry coffee, you can just see it there.
Yeah.
That's PVA, thick, neat, with dried coffee grounds spread out all over it. And then you vacuum off the excess, and then you just, any of the gaps, you just go, you can paint underneath it with a brown first if you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
just don't get any water on it because they'll dissolve.
Oh, yeah. Just put the
water. And if you need a brew, you know, you got some coffee.
Well, it's proper used ground coffee, but it doesn't go anywhere once you've had it. So, and you dry it in the oven. I've got tubs of it, and I throw it on there for texture, and then I throw the green flock over the top of that.
Yeah, it looks really good. Very good.
Yeah, and there, and if you see on this hill, you've got that effect where the brown coffee grounds are just showing through the green.
Yes, it's very effective.
Well, it seems to be.
On camera, you can clearly see it does look effective from here.
Yeah, well, that was my first go at rock painting, which I'm toying with doing them again because I prefer what I did here.
Yeah, it looks good, that.
Yeah, and I just used black and grey and a bit of dry brushing with a little bit of.
That's exactly what I did, but obviously I did it so it was more. Mine was more sandstony instead of slatey grey.
Yeah,
so yeah.
The dry brushing works a treat. Yeah. I mean, I was a bit scared of dry brushing, quite frankly. But when I tried it, was amazing.
Everyone's watched this channel for so long, you'll know that is the 3rd attempt of me doing a rock face. The original rock face was what was where my retaining wall is there on the far side. But yeah, I am absolutely over the moon with that rock face now. And
yeah, well, to be honest, Jade, you've done a good job there. It looks really good.
Yeah, I can't see how I would actually. It would be very difficult of me to try and replicate that again, because I'd actually have to look back at my own videos because I've forgotten how I did it.
Yeah,
it's one of them things, you just do it as you go.
Yeah,
and if you make a mess, you just start it again or do something different. And it's all been done on these live streams or videos and that, and I can't remember how I did it. So I've actually got to watch my own videos back to find out how I did it.
Yeah. Well, that's those rock faces for me. They're made from the Woodland Scenics rock molds.
Yes. And you know what? I've always thought about getting some of them.
Well, what I did is I bought one first. Because they're not, like Woodland Scenics, it's very good, but it's not cheap.
No, that's quite right. Yeah.
So I bought one just to try my hand at it. I had a go at it, and it turned out really good. So I bought 3 more, and then what I do is I use them, and so I haven't got to repeat. Sometimes I break the plaster.
Yeah.
And so it creates a slightly different effect.
Right.
So you can. Some of the rock molds are quite big. There's, there might be 6 inches or 5 inches across.
Yeah.
But you can break it in half and use it as 2 separate pieces.
Fantastic.
And that worked out okay.
I think someone was just asking, sounding like you're from Merseyside, Clybridge. Thought it was still Alan on the screen. No, on the screen is Steve of Route 7 Railway. His name is on the screen. You can see that. And yes, he's from the Merseyside region. Not far from myself, about 40 minutes up the road.
Yeah, I'm a place called by a park called Calderstones Park in Allerton in Liverpool.
Yep, know the area.
Yeah, not far from Liverpool South Parkway.
Yep.
Station.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you very much, Steve. It's great that I'm going to be getting off now. It's great to see you working on the layout. I say it's working on layouts together. I'm working doing that. So
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next show.
I think the next one is Rail Riders.
Oh, that's not my thing.
June
but
the 10th and 11th.
Yeah, I'm going to Getz. You're not going to Getz, are you?
No, unfortunately, I'm not going to Getz.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
staying over.
After that, it will probably be Stafford.
Oh, yes, Stafford's great. I went that last time. That's a good ride out on the bike.
There is another one taking place in Newcastle underline at St. John's Fishers. I have got the leaflet somewhere, but I've left it downstairs, unfortunately. But I'll have it for people next week. It's very much like the Old Sager one. I think it's actually ran by the same people.
Right.
I think that's in May, if I'm right, but I might be wrong. I'd have to double check on that. But I've got the leaflet, and I'll mention it next week. But yeah,
well, it's great to have been on, and thanks for inviting me. And I was a bit nervous, to be honest, because I've never been, doing this before, modelling online.
But yeah, that is Model Rail Crew. That will be next year, 2024. That is, I've even forgotten the date, 23rd of June, 2024. So still in production, and we're also looking for volunteers to help out on the day. If anyone's interested to actually pop down and help out during the day for this exhibition, we're looking for volunteers to help up with setups and things like that, and takedowns at the end of the night, and just running around helping and speaking to visitors throughout the day. If anyone's interested in volunteering, coming down and volunteering for the day for that exhibition, then get in touch. The email address is exhibition@modelrailcrew.uk, or communication via the email address. Full details can be found on the website. It's modelrailcrew.uk. Come and have a look. There's going to be some further updates going on it and all very soon this week. We are now Tuesday. By this weekend, there's going to be some news of exhibitors, layouts, and that are now definitely confirmed as attending. More on that than in the week. But yeah, I hope I hope you're looking forward to that. It's 14 months away yet, Steve.
Yeah. I will be, weather permitting, I'll be on the bike.
And I've been down to this venue today, actually, because I do all the things at the venue as well. And I was admiring the beautiful sight down the West Coast Main Line, right by the club, at the car park, looking down. And I might actually be doing a live stream from there.
Well, I hope we can get a decent cup of coffee.
I can tell you now, the coffee is in there.
Great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah,
it's going to be an absolute cracker.
Brian from Finneton be going to there.
Yes, Brian has confirmed he will be joining it. And if anybody knows in the local area that has a vintage bus that they can use for shuttle services, please get in touch as well, because the two that you usually do are not available during on those days. So I'm looking for somebody that has a vintage bus. I'm going to be hopefully speaking to the guys at Stafford, who I know the bus which they use. It's PVT 207L. So I know the registration because I used to work with the guy that owns it, and I have actually sat in the driving seat and been a passenger on that in the past. So I'm going to be hopefully speaking with those to see whether they're available. If not, if anyone knows of anybody that runs a vintage bus service, who might be willing to volunteer the operation of that bus for shuttling from the railway station to the venue. I say we've got plenty of time to look into that. But yeah, if you've got an exhibition layout as well, you may want to exhibit at the exhibition. We're looking for layouts you don't usually see at exhibitions. Trying to open the doors to some new layouts if possible. There's still plenty of room, but it is filling up fast. Maybe even if you're a trader of some sort, then get in touch as well. All details via the email address exhibition@modelrailcrew.uk. Right. I think we're going to leave it there, Steve.
All right, Jason. Nice one, Philip.
Thank you very much for coming on.
And thanks for
we'll
asking.
see you very soon. We look forward to seeing some after ballast pictures.
And I'll just say ta-ra properly. And so I'll see you next time.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.
So huge thanks to Steve dropping in there, and also Alan, and also Robert Clybridge. Thank you everyone for coming and modelling with me. I'm going to leave that to dry now and get cracking with some tree and additional foliage just to go on there. And then we can near enough say that that embankment is complete. We'll then be moving on to the next part of the scenics. But big news is next week's episode, which we will discuss the signal box name and other things as well as normal with, will be a Q&A. If you got any questions, get them written down and ready for next week's show. And it will be the last in the Series 7. The final episode of Series 7. It is here. It will be next week. It will be the last Tuesday of April and the last in this series. But fear not, a few weeks will pass and Series 8 will be live on your screens in May. So don't worry. I've got so much modelling to catch up on. I'm just going to use the couple of weeks between series to catch up with my modelling. I want that side finished because I've got plans for Series 8 already. And it evolves over that end of the layout. So I want to try and get this side of the layout finished in preparation for Series 8. It's a lot to get done, but I think I can do it. Get my head down, get some serious modeling done. I think I can get it finished in time. So next week is the last in this current series. Please come and join me. If you haven't already, click the thumbs up for this. And also, if you're in chat, you obviously are a subscriber. But if you're not in chat and you are still watching, please do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. So I look forward to seeing you next week here on the YouTube Tuesday with Barnabas Junction. Until then, you take very good care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay well. And after all, I do say, keep on modelling. Ta-ra till next week. Bye.